Here is the much anticipated podcast interview with one of our own Grammy-nominated superstar, Casey Phillips. So before I bring Casey Phillips, guys, what do you guys think about this merch? This is one of our merch. This merch is from our store. If you go to the link in the bio, you see we have the Rema merch, we have Tyler merch, and we have the Afro Groove merch. And the big idea is that we're giving a portion of the proceeds to help people in underserved places in Africa, especially Nigeria. Like you guys know, I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. From Ajegule is a remote ghetto place, parts of Nigeria, but a lot of the beautiful music in Afrobeat comes from Ajegule and remote places of Nigeria, Ojuelegba, Oshodi, those kind of places. Oh, now we have Casey Phillips right here live with us. Casey, my man.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Okay. Tired, but readjusting back to working schedule.
I'm so glad to have you, Casey. I know we wanted to bring you on last week, but due to some technicalities, it didn't work out. But
we here now.
We're here now. That's it. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to give a small introduction so you know who Casey is. Casey just worked with one of his biggest recent achievements in the business is he worked with Ciara and Chris Brown. He's a producer. This brother is talented, mad talent. And we'll be getting to know Casey, go into a few questions, and he will talk about his journey and everything. This guy is amazing, guys. Quick introduction. Welcome to another enlightening episode of our Enhanced Perception podcast, where we delve into the minds of the world's most influential and inspiring personalities. I'm your host, Ike On Noha. Today, we have a special treat for you. Joining us is a visionary in the music industry, a producer who has crafted hits for some of the biggest names, including Ciara and Chris Brown. His talent and dedication has earned him international acclaim. Please welcome the incredible Casey Phillips. Casey.
Man. Yeah, that intro. What an intro. I'll take it.
You take it. All right. As we begin this journey into Casey's world, let's take a moment to appreciate the path that has brought him here. Mm-hmm. From his early days to becoming a sought-after producer, Casey's story is one of resilience, creativity, and unyielding passion. You can explore more about this man's journey and achievement through his link tree and his feature on his page on Instagram. Mm-hmm. There's a Spectrum News that was written about him. If you go to Casey's page on Instagram, the link in his bio, you will see that. And now we'll dive in deeper into his experience and insights. Casey, it's up to you. If you want to give out your Instagram handle now, that's fine. If you want to give it out later, that's fine. You go ahead. How are you doing, Casey?
I'm good. Instagram is Casey_Casey. Production Instagram is Precision Prod. I'm good, man. Just came back from the desert, a little 4-day break. So just readjusting back into the city and back in the studio now, trying to do work. But I'm cool. Rejuvenated and ready to go.
Wow, nice. Anyway, are you in the studio right now? Where is that? Is that in Hollywood?
North Hollywood, Los Angeles, yeah.
Excellent. So that's where you craft this wonderful thing that you do.
Yes. This is the Bat Cave where I work out of all the time for way too many hours.
So that's kind of segue to what's been keeping you busy lately.
You wanted me to touch on the origin story?
Yeah, go ahead.
I could give a quick summary. I was born into music because of my dad, Mr. Kenny Phillips in Trinidad. He's also a arranger, composer, producer himself. Had classic, legendary calypso hits with some soca hits after that, and pretty much was born into music because of him. And learned from him, and then started my own thing, which was Precision. Casey, then Precision. And then pretty much worked my way up in the soca game in Trinidad and then the regional game in the Caribbean, and now in Los Angeles trying to penetrate the mainstream market. And that's going into your next question. That's what's been keeping me busy. Pretty much having to reset from the Trinidad/soca market and now refocusing and changing your thinking to now this market, which is mainstream R&B, soul, pop, hip hop, rap. You know it. Yeah.
Okay, this man is from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where is it Nicki Minaj or
Yeah.
Rihanna is
Nicki
from?
Minaj is from Trinidad. Rihanna is from Barbados.
Or Rihanna is from Barbados.
Yeah.
So Nicki is one of the biggest stars from Trinidad and Tobago, right in America. That's
Yeah.
originally from there.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yes. There are others, but I don't know if you'll know them. So we'll stay with Nicki Minaj for now.
In the American market, the ones we know is
Exactly.
Nicki. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so now you've already talked about your origin story. What has been the most surprising thing about your journey so far?
Everything. If you ask me 10 years ago if I would be in Los Angeles having my own studio and having a song with Chris Brown and Ciara, I would have laughed and be like, nah. So I would say everything. Everything has been a surprise, and it just goes to show how much work I've put in and the results of that, and it keeps happening and keeps building. So I think everything is a surprise.
Amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
How did you feel the first time one of your tracks made it to the charts?
That would be how we roll. That was great. That process was a process in itself because I think that took like 3 years.
Oh,
So,
wow.
it's like great, but it's also bittersweet because we've been waiting for so long. It's an experience in itself. But of course, the natural things you'll feel when your song on the charts is proud, happy, grateful, because again, to this day, that's one of the biggest and I think best introductory I could have asked for getting into this game and this market. So it still blows my mind to this day.
Amazing. Okay, you guys were nominated for a Grammy, or the song was nominated for a Grammy for the best writing category, or what was that?
Theron was nominated for Best Songwriter. He wrote on How We Roll and he won last Grammys, I want to say. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. But yeah, he won Songwriter of the Year.
Okay, so Ron was nominated for songwriter and he wrote the song,
Yeah, he
How
wrote
We
How We
Roll.
Roll. Yeah, he
Okay,
co-wrote How We Roll. Yeah.
he co-wrote How We Roll and he won a
Yeah.
Grammy. Oh, that's big. That's huge. And what's your relationship to Theron? As you guys, you partners?
It's a funny story. Coming up in this Soca game, I guess as a
Hmm.
youngster, I would have known about our city and Tehran and Timo and looked up to them as the guys who figured it out,
Hmm.
meaning using the accent, knowing how to do mainstream songs, dancing both lines. And it's like, wait, they figured it out. They got out the Caribbean and they're doing the mainstream stuff. So I always looked up to them.
Hmm.
And I think one of my soca songs got their attention because they still remix songs every now and again.
Hmm.
And they asked to jump on Chase the Life and remix it. Great. So we did the remix, got the connect, started talking to them. We ended up working on a whole soca project. Songs like Fet You, One Life, Fling It Back. For a bunch of songs I did with them, soca stuff.
Hmm.
And we all just got cool. And they're my friends now. Go to Atlanta, work with them, hang out. It's kind of mind blowing sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Where I started as a fan,
Hmm.
and now we all friends and work together.
Okay, Casey. So, yeah, some of your biggest influences when you started out will be like your dad or your
Dad,
dad,
I could say Tehran and Timor as well.
Theron. Okay.
I grew up kind of, I would say studying, but I listened to a lot of Pharrell, Timbaland, Ryan Leslie, Rodney Jerkins, a lot of the bigger producers that I would listen to. One of my mentors on mixing and engineering is Dexter Simmons. He's also a Trini who won a Grammy for mixing.
What year? What year did he win a Grammy?
I can't remember that.
Okay. Okay.
That's a while
Okay.
back. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's a while back. Yeah, that's just a few.
So, Casey, what is the hardest challenge you've had to overcome in your career?
I would say this last reset of pivoting from soca into mainstream music, I think that was one of the biggest challenges because I had to essentially switch everything, switch my source of income, switch my source of work, clients, everything, and say, all right, enough of this. We're going here. So it was hard. And I had to just suck it up and be like, all right, we started over from zero. We'll figure this out. Still in that process, but working through it.
Okay. So, I guess what goals are you pursuing right now?
That would also be a goal. It would be
Okay.
securing a spot on this side, meaning in this market, in this soca market is always there. It will return at some point, but I have to secure a spot on this side and get it to stabilize a little bit.
Okay.
And that's the goal.
Now, how do you stay inspired and motivated in such a competitive industry?
I think I made a decision, I want to say a few years ago, to stop separating life and work. I think back in the day, I would have always, this is work, this is job, and I'll keep this on one side, and then I'll have personal stuff on this side. And I had to make a decision to stop separating them because art imitates life, life imitates art, and started to draw influence and inspiration from either side. If I'm having a rough day, then the music should sound like that, or the music should be influenced like that. Also, to knowing when to rest, knowing when to stop. I try to take Sundays off. I try to maybe do a little hike or just do nothing. A lot of us burn out ourselves and then we're not inspired. So that's really important.
Excellent. That answer touched on the next question, but maybe you might want to expand more on it. And the question is, how do you manage stress and maintain your mental health?
I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know if I manage it, but I try my best. I guess it's the same answer. Trinidad has prepared me for that a lot. The stress level and pressure that we are under when we do soca and come into the carnival season from August till December, I don't think anything is more stressful than that. So Trinidad definitely prepared me for that. Resting, same thing, resting, and just getting out of the studio, getting out of work. I just came from the desert, and I was a little reset for 4 days. So I try to do those every now and again.
Okay, so what advice would you give to aspiring music producers?
With this question, what advice? I always say this, I always say master your craft, and I'll expand on that. If you want to produce, let's say you want to produce R&B, you want to be a producer, you want to produce R&B. I've seen so many producers who barely know the software that they use, but they want to be a producer. They use it every day, but they don't know what certain things in that software do. My advice would be master your craft. And it doesn't mean going to school. It could be get certified in that app. Logic, if it's Studio One, Ableton. There's so much courses, even online, you could get certified in that app. I did my certification, I learned so much, and I was using Logic for almost over a decade, and I still learned stuff just from getting the real creators and the teachers to teach you the app. If you want to be a graphic artist, go get certified in Photoshop or CorelDRAW or whatever you use, Illustrator. So just master your craft. If you use guitar or you use piano to produce, then music theory.
Okay, very nice. I'll segue a little bit from this question by saying, has your approach to music production evolved over the years? And to add to that is, how do you see Afrobeat, what is doing now in this today's day and age in music production?
Okay, the first one was that how was my process?
Approach, yes, to music production evolved.
I think back in the day when I did more soca stuff, it was very based. We know we're going to do this, we put the drums this way, we do it that way, XYZ, ABC, bam, bam, bam. Formula based, science it out, send it out, done. Now I am trying to use more tools and toys and experiment a little more and have fun with production a little more as opposed to approaching it so science based, so formula based. And I've been getting really good results with that. So I would say that's one of the changes. Of course, as we learn more things and we're doing this more and we do more 10,000 hours, things become easier. And you learn little tricks and tools as you go along.
Okay. Do you produce Afrobeat or can you produce Afrobeat?
Yeah, we just had an Afrobeat song released with Aquila on Sony Canada. That's Most Wanted. Yeah, we just had her single drop and it's been doing great. Afrobeat, I remember we have this affinity to Afrobeat because soca and Afrobeats are cousins, more or less. It's the same world. We do a lot of Afro soca every now and again. Every now and again, I dabble in Afrobeat. Afrobeat is huge now. I'm so glad for that because I know it's been around for a while. And it only shows and proves that the music and all those types of music and genres of music in that world, be it Afrobeat, soca, zouk, dancehall, reggae. It just proof when you put in that it could work, and it just need to find its place. So the success of Afrobeats only shows me that soca could work too, or for the heels of it. So yeah, I think it's great.
Now, I want to say, you were going to say something about Nicki Minaj. What was that story? Are you saving that for, what was that story? We were going to talk about Nicki Minaj and being the biggest artist or anything. Did you?
No, I think I was just saying that she would be the biggest one from Trinidad. There are others, but she would be the one that I guess that the general public would know the most.
Okay. All right. If you were to work, what artists would you like to collaborate with, past, present, or who would it be and why?
Made a list of all the artists I want to work with, and that list was so random. I have been a Brandy fan forever, so I'll
Oh,
say
wow.
Brandy. And then after that, I'll say Alex Isley. Kate Trinidad, I'm a fan of Kate Trinidad. I'll switch it up a little bit and say Glass Animals. And I don't want to say the typical top artists because everybody would say those names. But
Right.
of course, Pharrell and Leslie Timberland, just because they've been inspirations for so long. Who else? I think I'll leave it there for now.
Okay. That's a beautiful list. I think Burna Boy worked with Brandy and they even did a presentation at the Grammys. They sang together. That's amazing. Okay, Casey, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Likewise.
Yes, before we go, I would just want to say we have navigated through this fascinating and intricate world of music production with Casey Phillips. His journey is a testament to the power of passion, dedication, and continuous learning. As we approach the end of our conversation, let's reflect on the valuable lessons and insights Casey has shared. Join the challenge. You will learn more. We will do a workshop, music workshop. All the details will be coming soon, guys, where you'll be meeting minds like Casey. We'll have them have more time to work with this guy. This guy is very well connected in the music business in Hollywood. His studio is in North Hollywood, where almost anybody who's anybody music goes to produce music. All kinds of superstars go there. I don't want to even drop any names. So, Casey, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on
Thank
our
you, man.
podcast, Enhanced Perception, which we stream on Afro Groove Express. It's our Afrobeat dance and music Instagram page. Your insight and experience have been truly inspiring. I know our listeners have gained a wealth of knowledge. Guys, type your questions, DM us whatever questions you have for Casey that he couldn't touch on now. We'll send it out to him, and follow this man on his Instagram page. Follow him. You can ask him questions, DM him questions directly. And who knows, if you make good beats or good music, if you have a Spotify list, send it, DM it to us, says DM it to Casey, DM it to me, DM it here on Afro Groove. We'll get these guys to listen to it and see what we can do for you. I know Casey has another friend, Brandon Miranda, and Brandon is talking about, hey, if you have a list, give us your list. We will play your music and we can even pay you if your music fits what we are working on.
Right.
We'll pay you money. So my whole mission is to help people get from where they are to where they want to be. My goal is a portion of the proceeds that come from the sale of this t-shirt, of our merch, goes to help people in Africa. That's my mission. I want to help change people's mindset in Africa. I grew up from a very poor rural area in Africa, and I believe with what Afrobeat is doing today, we can make a big difference.
Right.
And together we can change people's lives. Even it doesn't matter how much, if it's $1, $2, we can change people's lives in these parts of the world.
Right.
So guys, Casey, any last words? Other than that, we are out.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for everyone for listening. Of course, follow, check out what we're up to, stay connected, reach out if you're into music and you're aspiring to get in this game. And yeah, we'll definitely check it out and take a listen. Till next time.
All right. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, man.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right, guys. I'm out. Bye-bye.